Good evening, VectorVest Nation, and welcome to the channel. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest, and I got a video for you tonight. What if I can tell you that I've got a technical indicator that will pretty much tell you when it's okay and not okay to be in a stock, or know when to start taking profits on that stock as well? That's what we're going to cover tonight, and I think it's important, and you got to stick to the end of the video because I think that this is something that nobody else really has out there, but we're talking a lot about it to help you guys make money in the market. So we've talked about several different indicators over the past few weeks on Fridays. We've talked about moving averages. We've talked about candlesticks, trend lines, support and resistance. And today we're going to get into something called Bollinger Bands, but in a way that we can show you when to be in the stock, when to start taking profits, and when to start to know to be totally out of the stock. All right, with that being said, we're going to get right into the software. And from the software, I'm going to take a look at stocks that we've talked about on the channel. NVIDIA, I still think it's a powerhouse stock. DFEN, which is in the defense in aerospace dynamic. SMCI, which is a stock that is done a lot. It's split, it's undervalued, but is it the right time? Palantir is a stock that's one of my favorites. I'm up like 50% on the stock, but I've talked about it. Apple, a stock you know I love, but I'm not in love with. ARM, this is a stock that Ryan really likes. And Tesla, a stock that everybody likes. You either like it or you hate it, one of the two. So we're going to go graph through all of these stocks that many of you have already owned, and by way of the technical indicators that we've talked about over the past few weeks, to show you how to better trade those stocks and get yourself into a better situation where you can capture profits and not let it turn into a loss. So I'm going to click on Graph All. Now, what I've got on here is I've got all of the indicators that we've talked about so far, coming from candlesticks, coming from moving averages, coming from trend lines and support and resistance. But I've also put some notes on here of candlestick patterns that you may or may not have known. You need to watch the candlestick video so that you can see how they react in price movement to help you to make the right decisions. All right, trend lines. I got a big wedge here, consolidation pattern. Right now, NVIDIA is broken above, but notice throughout the 3-month time period, shooting star, big wick at the top of the candle. What happens? Follow through. Not only that, it followed through and broke through a level of support and broke through another level of support, copied or on top of a moving average. I'm looking at a 20-day simple moving average right here. I'm going to take off the 50. I think the 20-day is a great level to see if there's a trend in a stock. Coupled that with the trend lines, but utilizing the 20-day moving average as a means to get in. Look at this, getting a hammer formation here, bouncing off support down here, breaking through a level of resistance, another level of resistance, moving higher and higher and higher to a level of resistance. Another hanging man right here. What did the stock do? Followed through, bounced off support, went back into a little channel. Technical indicators, and again, I'm looking at a lot of the different indicators that we've talked about over the last few weeks to put them all together so that you can see how you can use these indicators to make money. Current right now, current kind of a hanging man forming right here, right after this one. Interesting on NVIDIA. Let's go to the next one. DFEN, one of my stocks that I love right now. Bearish engulfing pattern, when to get out, boom. Not only did we get follow through, but we broke through a level of support. Fell, back in an uptrend, broke through a level of resistance above the 20-day moving average. Look at that all together. Look at the stocks move. Found a little level of support, but stayed above the trend line. Then we get a hanging man follow through. Boom, breaks through the trend line, breaks through a support line, breaks through the trend line of the 20-day simple moving average. Woo! Opportunities to know when to get in, when to get out and take profits. Hammer formation right here in a trend above the 20-day simple moving average. Look at that run trend, looking at that trend line. Absolutely right now, be careful. All right, that's on DFEN. There's SMCI. Nothing really good I can say about it. Big downtrend to the downside. For the short-term traders, opportunities to get in, bouncing off support, taking your profits at resistance. Absolutely, you can do that if you're more of a trader. Let's go to the next one, which is Palantir, another big fan of mine. I love it. Bottom left, top right, trend line, bounce off support, in a trend, breaks above a level of simple moving average, a level of resistance, gets to a level, breaks to a level of resistance, gets to another level of resistance, pulls back. That's not quite a hammer, but could be almost. But a beautiful level of support, breaks up through a level of resistance, back in a trend, challenge this level of resistance, the current level of support, staying above. Longer term investor, you're staying right with it. It didn't give you a reason to break out and get out of the stock, and above the 20-day simple moving average. Apple, big channel right now. More of a trader's pick, except for here. It did go move up from a level of support, breaks through resistance again. Shooting star, follow through, boom, opportunity to get out. You stayed in, boom, opportunity to get out when it went below the 20. Hammer formation, but still a little bit of sideways. Not every candlestick formation comes to fruition. Hammer followed by a shooting star with follow through and back below the 20-day moving average. As I go through this, and I know I won't be able to see the chat right now, but how many people are now more educated on the technical indicators that I've shown throughout the past few weeks? All I want you to do is type the word educated in the chat. That's all I want you, and I'll see it after the fact. But I want you, if you've seen and gotten better educated in looking at trend lines and looking at support and resistance and looking at candlesticks and looking at moving averages, if you've gotten a better education over the past few weeks, just type the word educate. And that'll let me know that you do like the videos that I've just put out for the past few weeks. Let's go down to the next one. ARM. This is one of Ryan Stock's. Nice trend line here, breaking above the trend, the 20-day moving average, breaking below, coming right back to a trend line. If I'm a longer-term investor, I'm using that trend line saying, nope, I'm not getting out. Not just quite yet. Boom, that paid off, back above the 20, broke through a couple of levels of resistance, now approaching a beautiful level of resistance. Hanging man right here, followed through, but still above the trend line. You know what I like about this process, no matter what technical indicator you're using, whether you're a trader, you want to get out faster, or whether you're a longer-term investor and you want to take your time, these indicators, whether it's a trend line, whether it's support and resistance, whether it's a moving average, can help you make the right decisions based on how you invest in the stock market. And the last one we're going to look at here is Tesla. Big, nice, beautiful trend line here, breaking through levels of resistance, now serving as a level of support. Big move here. Hanging man formation with follow through. That would have been a good opportunity to get out. I'm playing Tesla to the downside right now. We'll see. A nice rebound today as I'm recording this. And longer term investors, it's still above the 20-day moving average. Again, depending on how you trade in the market, you can use whatever technical indicator works the best for you. Now, let's get into what I call the meat and potatoes. I'm going to start talking about Bollinger Bands. Now, before we do that, what is a Bollinger Band? Definition: Bollinger Band is a technical analysis tool developed by John Bollinger, of whom I met. I had him sign his business card for me in the 1980s to help investors and traders gauge market volatility and identify when securities are poised to rise or fall. How about I can teach you 2 ways to use Bollinger Bands right now? You ready? All right, let me minimize this. First off, Bollinger Bands are designed to show volatility on a stock. What if I can use Bollinger Bands to help me to show what industries are on the rise? Well, that's going to come in a minute. But let's look at these same stocks that we just looked at right now and use Bollinger Bands for the purposes of determining if it's okay or not okay to be in the stock right now. I'm going to click back on Graph All again. Now, I'm going to take off a lot of these things that I had on here. I'm going to take off the moving average. I'm going to take off support and resistance. I'm going to leave the trend lines and the candlestick formations up there. I'm going to put on a graph that specifically uses Bollinger Bands in the VectorVest software. You don't have to build it. I'm going to click on Graph Layouts, go to Star Search. Now, you'll notice I've got 2 sets of Bollinger Bands. Remember, when they move apart, the stock is more volatile. When it squeezes together like it did here, that means there's less volatility. I like the pinches. I like to trade the pinches and see which way the stock is going to break after the pinch. All right, it pinched here, but where did we go? Further down. Now, the beautiful thing about this graph layout using 2 different Bollinger Bands on 2 different time periods, I'm looking at a 20-day look-back period because I'm looking at end of day. 20-day look-back period with 1 standard deviation. That's going to trade closer to the stock. But I'm also going to put on a second Bollinger Band, which is a 20-day look-back period with 3 standard deviations. It's going to give me more move in the stock. Now, with those two different Bollinger Bands set up, it will create like a 3-lane highway, a slow lane, a middle lane, and a fast lane. And what I want you to learn from this presentation right here from Bollinger Bands, because I think this is a crazy awesome indicator, technical indicator, to let you know when to get into a stock, when to take profits, and when to leave the stock totally. So now we know that we've got a trend line here. Boom, that's great. We're in the upper trend. We got the candlestick patterns. We watch the stock move from the slow lane to the middle lane to the fast lane. Where would I have gotten in? Right here. When we went into the fast lane of the graph, opportunity to make money? Yes. When we close in the middle lane, that's a good opportunity to take half off the table. Take those profits, play with the bank's money after that. Then after that, once it closes in the slow lane, you take it all off. Now, it depends on how you invest in the market, how you want to play this. If you're playing this and the stock has made you some money and you want to take the profits off the table when it gets into the middle lane, do it. Take it, run. You can't go broke taking a profit. Then you wait for another opportunity when it gets back into the fast lane. And this is on NVIDIA. It's been playing back and forth between the fast and the slow lane. Oh, but wait! How about if I'm a longer-term investor? I still want to play this trend line. The trend line is still in play. Even though it's going back and forth in the middle lane, I can play the trend line. Woo, depending on how you invest in the market, folks, is what you would want to do. Now, same thing here. How about even when we went to the middle lane and took half off the table, the trend was there. All right, it went down into the slow lane. The trend was there. Ooh, but it broke below the trend line. You're going to give up a little bit more that way. Whereas if I play it when it closes into the middle lane, I'm going to take more profits. It all depends on what you do and how you feel about the stock. Let's go to the next stock. All right, the next stock is DFM. In the fast lane, back and forth. Look at that trend line. Boom, it went to the middle lane and broke the trend line both at the same time with the hanging man formation. It gave you everything it threw the kitchen sink at you to say, get out of that stock. Right there, right there. That was 3 different technical indicators right there. And then it went to the slow lane, trend line happened, hammer formation, trend line happening. Could I have gotten in before I got in the fast lane? Absolutely. Depending on, again, how you trade in the market. Currently in the fast lane, but creating a little bit of a hanging man formation right now. I currently still am in DFM. I'm keeping my eye on it right now, even though it's in the fast lane by way of the Bollinger Bands. Let's go to the next indicator, SMCI. I got nothing. I still got nothing. As much as I want to own this stock and hold this stock because it's in the computer maker space, I can't. But I see the pinch in Bollinger Bands. Volatility is creeping out. If it does pinch like it is right now, I'd like to see if it can break into the fast lane. If it does, boom, bingo, bada boom. It's split. It's undervalued. I'd like it, but I got to let the stock come to me with my technical indicators. I'm looking at Palantir. Spend a lot of time in the fast lane along with the trend lines. See the pinch right there? There's the pinch. And where did it break to the upside? Beautiful entry in the stock, upward trend. Bada boom, closes into the middle lane. Take that profit off the table. Or better yet, look at this. I got a level of support saying, well, I could give it a little bit more room because I like the stock. I like the technical indicators that we've talked about from the standpoint of being able to make better decisions because not everybody plays a cookie cutter scenario. Everybody trades differently. And utilizing all of the technical indicators that we've talked about, I love this opportunity for you. All right, let's go into Apple. I told you it was pretty much in a sideways change, back and forth between the middle lane and fast lane. It's up to you. I just really need to see it break above that level of resistance. As much as I love the stock, I'm not in love. ARM, nice play. Right now, pinching. Pinched here. Where did it do? It broke to the upside in the fast lane. Road. Pinching again. Let's let the market come to me. And the last stock in here is Tesla. I'm bearish on Tesla. I'll tell you why. Broke below the trend line. Broke into the middle lane. It's approaching a level of support in the middle lane. It's still below that trend line. We'll see what happens, but I'm making some money on the short side of Tesla right now. Now, I'm going to take one last thing because wait, there's more. What if I can go to the Unisearch? What if I can put a delta on an industry, which is a percentage change, on relative timing, an indicator only found in VectorVest, to see what industries are on the rise and use this star search to really reaffirm whether or not that industry is worth your time. Let me explain. I'm going to go Delta Searches Industries. I'm going to go to the 10-day RT Delta. Now, the thing is, we talked about this in the live stream yesterday. It sparked off a great conversation. And look at this. I can see retail drugs on RT has changed to the positive side 100% in the last 10 days. I'm going to go view the industry graph, and I'm going to put that star search on and look at that. How about that industry is in the fast lane after the pinch? Ooh-wee. Now I can dive into that industry. Let's see what stocks are in that industry. Let's see what stock has the highest CI. Oof. Only GRDM. I'm not sure I like that. I want to make sure if I'm going to buy into a stock that's in the fast lane, that I buy into a stock that's got an RT, that's got a CI above 1. Let's go see, though. View the stock graph. Let's go put this, I don't have a lot of information on it. I can't really help. I can't help you with this one. I don't have a lot of information. Well, I do like that the industry is in the fast lane. Let's go look at energy coal. All right. Oops. Let's go first look to see what it looks like in the industry graph. Look at that. Nicely in the fast lane. Look at that. Coming from the slow lane to the middle lane to the fast lane. Open candle. I like that. Let's go dig into that energy coal. Double click. Let's see what stocks are in there. And let's go see what's got a CI above 1.49. I'll take that. That's CCOZF. All right. Right click. View the stock graph. Do I like this? Oof. That is on end of day. I don't like the volume in this. Let's go see another one with a CI above 1.27. Let's go take a look at it. Go take a look at its graph. Right click, view the stock graph. Let's go see. Oof, I don't like that volume as well. All right, let's sort this by CI. Let's go see. Is there anything else in here I like? Let's go see. How about SILEF? A lot of over-the-counter drugs, over-the-counter stocks in here. But look at this. Stock was pinched. Look at that in the fast lane and moving up. I just found a stock that you may or may not know about right now from this process. Now, look at it. It's a 52-cent stock. If you're not into that kind of stock, then you don't take that. But I'm giving you an opportunity to make money from that indicator known as Bollinger Bands. What else is more? Petroleum, we know that petroleum is on the move, right? Let me close that. Petroleum is on the move. Let's go view the industry graph. Is it in the fast lane? Yes, it is. After trending lower, if I could draw a trend line, after trending lower now, not only did it break down through the downtrend, but in the fast lane. I wouldn't buy today only because of the down candle, but currently in the fast lane. Let's double click. See if there's any stocks in there that I'm interested in. Where's the CIs? No CIs above 1. Let's go look at Phillips 66. It's got the highest CI. And I honestly, when I'm looking for these stocks, I want the CIs to be above 1. But there's PSX in the fast lane. Down day to day. I wouldn't wait today. I like the pinch right here on Bollinger Bands. It's telling me it's okay. I just want to make sure I buy on a green up day. So there is a process by cherry picking the stocks that you like, put them into a list. But I can use the Bollinger Bands on a stock to see when it's the right time to get in, and I can take it a step further to find the industries that are in the fast lane as well. Folks, you can't go wrong with that. I think that not a lot of people on YouTube are showing scenarios like this where it can make your life a lot easier and help you guys to make money. I know I gave you a lot of information in this. I'm glad you stayed to the end. And if you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you're brand new to the channel and you like what you saw, make sure you think about subscribing, hitting the bell icon as well. But let me know in the chat if you've been better educated in the world of technical analysis by typing the word educate, just to let me know. Folks, this video is over. And until the next time, see ya.